So have you ever heard someone saying, I'm a certified person, I'm a certified project manager, so there's nothing else that you can tell me? Have you ever heard someone saying, I've done my education and I know better than you, so you need to do what I'm following, you need to do what I'm saying? Have you ever heard someone saying, this is what the PM book says, so let's follow it and make sure it's done? Have you ever heard someone saying, I need this to be done according to these principles. If it's not done, then you've not done your job. Probably you'll be fired. So these are some of the traps that you normally find with project managers. And these are some of the traps that you should always avoid as a project manager. So in this video, I'm going to cover these that you should always try to avoid if you're a project manager. So let's move on. I hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to click the like button, subscribe button, and the notification button so that you're the first person to be notified each time a new video is uploaded on this channel. It will also help the channel to grow. It will also help the channel to produce more videos like this one. So, project management is actually a journey. You might be asking me, Oscar, why are you saying it's a journey? Project management involves you from starting to think about project manager or project management to going to mastering project management or being a project manager. So you might be asking, Oscar, what are these stages in this journey? I can quickly mention them to you. One of them is you need to do your research first to check if you really want to be a project manager. You educate yourself also so that you can use the domain language in project management. You can also certify or get certification for yourself to prove that you have mastered project management. You can also practice. That is to apply your theory into practice, and then you need to master. So there are so many project managers who have gone through this journey of being a project manager, but at the end of the day, they become trapped. So you might be asking, Oscar, what do you mean by trapped? You see, like any other discipline, project management does not have an end. Why am I saying that? You might find that you are now getting new technologies. So as a project manager, you don't need to learn. You cannot say, I was doing this in the 90s, 80s, or around the 2020s, and therefore nothing else is going to change. Project tools, they're going to change. Even methodologies, some of them, they're going to improve. Okay, they're not going to change as such, but they're going to improve. And also people management theories, experience, and other things, they're going to change. So there are certain traps which we can classify that project managers can fall into. So the first one is going to be over-processing, okay? Then the second one is credential gatekeeping. We'll discuss more about that. Then the third one is where theory meets reality or practice, okay? And then the last one is reaching comfort level zone or comfort zone ceiling. So in this section of the video, we're going to cover the second trap, which is gatekeeping of credentials. You might be asking, Oscar, what does that mean? So credentials are very, very important. Like your certifications, they're very, very important. But they should not be a blocker, or they should not stand as a wall between you, your stakeholders, and your team members. You might be asking so many questions, but you're going to understand as we go through the video. So once you have attained your credentials, it's just proof that you have acquired project management knowledge. But there are certain cases where probably it might not even apply. And you should not always be guarding against your credentials. So you should not always be guarding against your credentials. So we are going to go through the signs of credential keeping. If you go through these signs, it means you're also doing a credential keeping, which is also a trap that must be avoided as a project manager. So the first one is you always try to use your certificates to win an argument. I've seen it with one of the project managers. When there's a discussion and a project member is actually presenting their own case, instead of focusing on the discussion, understanding actively what the other member is saying, or to have even empathy as to what the other member is saying, you hear someone saying, No, I've got a doctorate in this subject. So what can you tell me? I've got a master's in this subject. So what can you tell me? I'm the chairman of this particular certification community. So what can you tell me? So if you find yourself actually using those statements, it means you are now using credentials to win argument. It's not good for the project. So how do we resolve that? It's actually recommended that you become an active listener. Situations can differ. Strategies can differ from scenario to scenario. So even if you're educated, you might find that scenario, you've never seen it during your education period, and therefore it might require different opinions and different views. So how do you resolve that? Always make sure that you have active listening. When it's not necessary, don't make reference to your certifications. Look at the problem, come up with solution, choose the solution, implement, and review the solution. That is what is very, very important. It's not. And also, one of the signs that might show that you might be gatekeeping your credentials. You hear someone saying, I'm a certified PMP, so what can you tell me? I've gone through 180 questions. So most of the project scenarios have been covered. It means you're now focusing more on your credentials than the situation on the ground, and that is not advisable. So it is always advisable that you listen to your team. Ideas, they come from anywhere. I can tell you, there's no one who has got monopoly over knowledge. So ideas can come from anyone. So if you spend more time, which I normally do in my project, I spend more time as a listener than someone who is talking. When you listen, you get different views, and even your decision making is actually better. Okay? Another sign which might show that you are actually gatekeeping your credentials is you try not to listen to someone you assume or you know is not certified in project management. I can tell you that's a big blunder. The team is the gold mine of lessons learned, experience, knowledge, and so on and so forth. So even if someone is not certified, listen to what they are saying. Convince them that whatever they are saying is not applicable. Convince them that whatever they've said, they have taken it into consideration, you're going to polish it, and then you're going to apply it. Don't take your qualification as something to discredit other people. It's not good for a project. I've seen so many project managers getting trapped in such scenarios. So you should always avoid that, and you should always listen to everyone, give everyone a chance. Let me give you a good example from what I do in my projects. I normally have brainstorming sessions. And during brainstorming sessions, everyone is equal in terms of idea contribution. I can tell you, people have different ideas. Some of them, you might not even have thought about them, but you can hear someone saying, oh, you're struggling with this one, why can't you do it this way? Or I've seen it in some other continent, some other country. You do it this way, you see? So it's always good that you listen. Then another sign that might show that probably you are now you're gatekeeping your credentials is to start using some acronyms or abbreviations which people are not familiar with. You see, communication is about letting people understand or get your message. So you have to be articulate. What's the purpose of coming up with some acronyms which are not common to everyone? And you don't even explain them. So if ever you want to use the acronyms, the first thing is you define it, make people understand it, then relate it to what you are saying. Otherwise, just saying some words and then you move on does not make sense to anyone. And it shows that you just want to show people that you have learned something, but it probably does not contribute to the current situation. And that is not good if you're a project manager. You should not be trapped in that particular scenario. Always make sure that your communication is very clear. If ever you're going to use any abbreviations, expand them for the people to know, and then relate them to the point that you're trying to raise in that particular discussion. That is very, very important, okay? So, the other sign I've seen, this one I've seen with so many project managers, is if you find your people are intimidated to approach you for any discussion, or they're intimidated even to challenge you if you are doing something not right, then there's a problem. It means you are using your credentials to scare people from discussing with you, which is not good. People should feel free. I can tell you some of the risks that you can pick from the project. They actually come from the team members. They come from any stakeholder. So imagine you have blocked them because you think you know better than everyone else because of some qualifications or some certifications that you are holding. No one is going to come to you and let you know of any risk that is imminent. We normally call it proximity in project management. If you want to understand more about project management, risk management, I've created a video on how to understand risk management in project environment. So the other trap that you must always avoid is matching theory and reality. Especially when you're coming from some certification, there's a temptation to think that whatever you were learning as theory is applicable everywhere. The general advice, or what I can advise from my end, is always make an assessment of the situation before you confine yourself to a specific theory or specific template or process. Because in most cases, reality and theory, they might not match. So let us go through the signs that you might be failing to match theory and reality. So the first one is you want to enforce Scrum prints on every construction program. In some cases, a certain methodology might not work, so you should not enforce it. Look at whether you need agile or whether you need a traditional waterfall approach. Don't always say we need sprints. In some cases, in some projects, it might work. In some projects, it might not work. Then the second one, the other sign that you might be failing to bridge between theory and reality, is you continuously say or refer to PMBOK. PMBOK says this process, PMBOK says this, and so on and so forth. Or Prince 2 says this, and so on and so forth. You cannot always be making that specific reference. There are cases where that reference works, but there are cases where you have to make an assessment. Is it really going to work? Or you're just making reference to PMBOK? Or you're just making reference to Prince 2? So there must be some relationship between what you are saying, the theory you're talking about, and what needs to be done on the ground. So it's one of the signs that shows that probably you are now failing to link theory and reality. Then the other sign that I've seen also with other project manager is always saying, we learned this in class and it must be done. So that is theory, okay? There are some things you might learn, but they may not work. Let me give you a good example. When it comes to what are called organizational process assets, or PA, these are like organizational documents and templates, processes, procedures, and policies. Maybe in your previous organization, there was a certain way of doing things. And then when you join this other organization, there's a different way of doing things. So it is very apparent that you also see or look at the context or the environment in which you are working in. You cannot always say, because I learned about this, it should always be applicable. When you are learning, there are certain things which apply to certain scenarios, certain industries, certain projects. There are others which do not apply at all. So you should be able to distinguish what is applicable and what is not applicable. You cannot always say, because PMBOK said this, because Prince 2 manual said this, then we should be able to do this thing. That's one of the signs that shows that you are failing to match reality and also the theory that you have learned. So the other sign that you might be failing to meet or to match reality and also the theory, you start ignoring industry standards. You know, every industry, say for example, it's manufacturing, software development, it's construction. They have certain standards or certain ways of doing things. Some they want to call them benchmarks. They have certain ways of doing things. And some of these ways of doing things, they are based on the practical experience or past projects. And they might not match one-to-one with theory that you were studying in your certification. So you find some project managers, they start ignoring those standards, focusing more on theory. That's also another sign that you are actually failing to match reality and theory. So how do you resolve that? Make an assessment. Bring your theory, bring industry standards, bring the situation on the ground. Make a judgment. There's something called expert judgment. You should make expert judgment to see what is applicable and also what is not applicable. Then the last sign that you might also see between theory and reality is a methodology becomes a goal instead of an outcome. Okay? So you find because someone has done Scrum certification, someone has done Agile certification, someone has done Lean certification or Kanban certification. So they always think this is the way to do things. If you don't do it, it appears as if you have not done your work. So they are now prioritizing methodology as a goal than the outcome. So how do you resolve this? Always make sure that you focus on the outcome, project objectives, project goals, more than methodology. There are some methodology steps that might work somewhere. There are others that might fail everywhere. So you still need to make that particular judgment. If you want me to create additional videos based on what we have discussed in this video, or maybe there's a concept or idea that is not clear to you and you need more information about it, you can reach out to me or you can let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.